I'm Lee Iridium. Hope you're doing all right today. Halloween Kills. Could do a movie review, but before I do that, I just want to say a massive thanks to the Dark Horde, or Brewing, actually sent me this t-shirt. So I've banged on about this album. It's a heavy metal concept album. I've loved every track off it. I've reviewed it. It's going to be my top albums of the year for sure. And Brewing, who actually wrote the actual concept, sent me this t-shirt. Man, how fucking cool is that t-shirt? I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? So a massive thanks. He sent me something else as well to go with it as well. So man, I just really appreciate anything that bands send me, especially t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt nut, and this is just one of my favourite t-shirts. As soon as I got it, I thought, fucking hell, that is cool. So look at that. That is brilliant. Anyway, carrying on the horror, Halloween Kills. Now, I haven't done a movie review for fucking ages. I've only done about 3 or 4 anyway, when I first started the channel. And it was actually called Rock and Metal and Movie Reviews. And I've changed it. I took the movie off because I thought, I don't know if I want to do movie reviews. I don't know if I'm, it's all about the music for me. But I went to see this the other night, put it on Facebook. Someone said, can you do a review? Or are you going to do a review? And I thought, fuck it, I'll do a review. So here I am, Halloween Kills. So, okay, so this is the follow-on from Halloween. I think it was in 2018, the reboot, if you like. So I like that film. I thought it was pretty good, but I wasn't totally into it. I went to see it at the cinema when all things were normal. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I thought it was good, but I wasn't ecstatic, wasn't over thrilled with it. I don't even know why, because I think it was pretty good, but it just didn't give me what I fully wanted from a Halloween film. I fucking love Halloween Kills. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And of course, it's the second film in a trilogy, I believe. And it does feel like that. I don't want to give any spoilers away, and I think that's part of the reason I don't do movie reviews, because I feel like when I do music, I can completely talk about everything. But I have to be careful in movie reviews. But I can always edit it out if I give too much away. But I won't give any spoilers or anything like that. But I just love it. But it does feel like you're waiting for the next one, which is a good thing. That's what you want to be doing. So, of course, this has Jamie Lee Curtis in it as Laurie Strode. She's in it quite a bit, but it's not really focusing on her as much. It's more focusing on her daughter, who is Judy Greer, who plays Karen Nelson. So that's her daughter, the Laurie's daughter, obviously. And Andy Matichek, who plays Alison Nelson as a granddaughter. It's sort of more focusing on them as characters. And let me tell you, the acting in this film is absolutely brilliant. You don't expect it to be Oscar winning because it's horror. Of course, horror, you want certain things in horror, and that's kills and blood and tension. You get all that. But it's important to build up those characters even a little bit. You get sucked in when you care a bit when they get their throat cut, obviously, or whatever death they get. So now, I don't know that there's Halloween purists like there is with classic films. I understand. You get the same with Star Wars and all that stuff, don't you? So you get people that just won't like this film. The Halloween purists, who only like the 1978 film, plus maybe the sequel, Halloween 2. Perhaps they might like that. But they just literally shit over every other Halloween film there is. But I'm just taking this film for what it is. I love the original Halloween, by the way. But I fucking love this as well. And let me tell you why. So, it's bloody. It's violent. I think that, I don't know, I didn't count the kills, but I'm not sure if he kills more people than John Wick does. It is just fucking from the outset, from the beginning until the end, there is just kill after kill after kill. And, it's like, I've seen a fucking million horror films, and I've seen a million slasher films, and the way people die. And this surprised me. Like the kills surprised me. I was thinking, what's he going to do next? And there was bits that I was, oh fuck, that's what you want in it. You don't just want to see a head being chopped off. That's just nothing, is it? You want to see bits that make you think, oh, that would fucking hurt. Oh, like, you know, they really made the kills violent, and it felt like you was feeling it. You know, I was fucking back in my chair thinking, oh, fucking hell. Maybe jump a few times, which is good. And they're not just jump scares. There was just bits in it that just took you by surprise. I went with my daughter. She jumped a couple of times, which is a good sign, because if you've seen, me and my daughter have seen fucking thousands of films and horror films. And if it makes you jump, I've sat through fucking horror films that don't do anything to me. But this did. It made me jump. There was tension built around the kills, especially. Not knowing where Michael Myers was, you know, in the room, and it just, is he there? And it surprised you sometimes. It's really great. The tension was built. The violence was ramped up to fucking 11. Absolutely great. So it's an 18, and I'm so fucking glad it is, because you see many of these films now, don't you, that should be 18s, and then they fucking put a 15 on it, and the kills are sort of mellowed out a little bit. You don't see everything. And before you know it, it's just, the camera's just cutting away. You see everything on this, and it's violent, violent, violent. So if you like a bit of that, you're going to love this. It's surprising. It's brutal. It really is. I think it's great. Like I said, the tension's built up. The characters are built up. And I think that a lot of that is to do with that. The characters are really built up. Even, I mean, there's people that are in it just for the kill. So you'll get literally a scene where people were introduced. 2 minutes later, they're fucking meeting a violent death. And I think that the film done a really good job of even introducing these characters that were going to be gone in a couple of minutes and giving them some character. Whether it's you thought they was funny, you sort of cared about what was going to happen even after a couple of minutes, which is good fucking script writing and acting. I mean, it's just, if you care about them after 2 minutes and they get it, that's a fucking really good sign. Now, there's something that's introduced on this one that I'm not sure. I think it might have been touched upon in an older Halloween film, one of the not so famous ones, where it's got a bit of a mob mentality here. Obviously, Haddonfield, where the film is set, it introduces a mob. So it's a small town. It sort of shows you how fear of something can sort of grow within the town. And very quickly, a mob can be created, and that's what happens in this. And it's a real fucking excellent part of the story. It just shows you the battle between the police and the mob, and the way a mob is easily created. And it's very realistic the way it happens. And I think a lot of that is helped by the script again and the acting. And before you know it, you see the downsides or the consequences of what happens when a mob is created, and the fear that made it create, and what the consequences are. And I think that's a really great part of the story, and it just gets you sucked in. Also, this film is 1 hour and 3/4 long. Quite long for a horror film, and it just felt like I was in cinema for like an hour and a quarter. It really flew by. I think that's just from the constant sort of kills and sort of wonder what's going to happen next in a kill, and the characters that really brought this film to life. Also, it goes back in time, shows you some parts from what happened to Michael in the 1970s when he first, in the Halloween film. So it shows you parts of that, not actually of the film, but new parts that sort of surround that story. And it looks great. They've done something with I'm not a filmmaker, obviously, but they've done something with the filming. It looks a bit grainy. It looks very sort of old, and obviously all the costumes and all that really create that 70s feel. I thought it was a brilliant way of doing it, and probably if you're not an expert on the Halloween films, you might have even thought that is out of the original film, you know what I mean? But it's just a really cool touch, and I think it really gave that nostalgic feeling. That was very cool indeed. So as you can tell, love this film. I love the theatre experience as well. I mean, we've been missing that. I have gone to the theatre a few times. Saw the James Bond film, also saw Suicide Squad and stuff like that. So I have been to the cinema, but you can't beat it, man. I know this is also available streaming, but I really recommend going to cinema as well. And also it supports the film, obviously. It supports the film industry, and I think they need it at this time. Obviously, with COVID hit it fucking hard. One of the hardest, apart from the music industry, the film industry also got hit hard. So I recommend this. Going with a few mates. you know, because this is fucking great. And also it's an 18, so you don't get a load of kids in the cinema to annoy you. So I'd say, you know, grab a popcorn, grab a drink, go and see this film. You'll fucking love it. If you love horror, look, if you're, like I said, I touched upon the Halloween thing earlier on with the purists. They're probably going to fucking hate it. But, you know, I loved it. And it also gives you that Halloween, not time of the year feel as well. It's got sort of lots of references to the actual season, Halloween season. So you got that dotted about as well, which I love. I do love a horror film at Halloween, and it just gives you everything you want from that. So guys, I really recommend this. If you love horror, and if you love some bloody kills and some really interesting kills as well, you're going to love this. And the acting is absolutely superb. I highly recommend it. This is one of the best horrors I've seen for a while, actually. So let me know what you think in the comments if you've seen the film. But I highly recommend going to see it, guys. If you're a Halloween purist and you haven't liked anything since Halloween and maybe Halloween 2, you probably ain't going to like it, are you? But you never know. Go and see it anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you next time.